Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ways of the Force podcast. We are doing a special edition episode, our first character analysis.
Maybe the Ways of the Force story.
The Ways of the Force story, call it whatever.
A Ways of the Force story.
Yeah, so...
a tale of the Ways of the Force.
I'm Jake the Wookiee.
Oh, I'm Kyle No Daddy Issues Ren.
What's up, Logan Kenobi?
And we're pretty much going to be heavily dissecting Luke Skywalker on this first character analysis. And basically, starting off, George Lucas had a lot of influence when it came to Star Wars. He took bits and pieces from a lot of different stuff, from samurai movies to like old serials and Buck Rogers to one of the biggest inspiration was from a book called like A Hero of 1,000 Faces or whatever by Joseph Campbell, and he basically created the hero's journey, and the character arc of Luke Skywalker basically fits the hero's journey perfectly. The original trilogy is basically based on that sense of adventure and becoming a hero, and almost all modern stories in a way kind of are based on that. So starting off, when we first meet Luke, he's just a bratty kind of farm kid.
A teenager.
Looking to buy some droids with his uncle. What are your guys'...
Well, he wasn't actually looking to buy droids. He wanted to do something else.
Don't say it.
I think he wanted to go into town.
Go into town.
For some power converters.
Yeah, to Tasha Station.
That didn't last long.
Yeah. So, what are your guys' first impressions when you first meet Luke? What do you think of him?
My first impression, and still, 15 years later, probably. I don't know when I first watched this. I still don't feel it. I still see the boy. Just, I want to go do this. I don't want to work. I want to go do this.
Yeah, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's even playing with a toy, right? At one point.
Yeah. Like, vroom, vroom, vroom. When he's like 19 years old.
Yeah. I don't consider, but like he's a dreamer.
Yeah.
And I can understand like his life is definitely not what he wants it to be, and what his friends are doing, and
yeah, he wants to go to the basically the Imperial Naval Academy, which is weird since he doesn't like the Empire. But
yeah, this is interesting. But yeah, I mean, is he 19, 17, 19?
Yeah, I think
Something
he's 19.
in there,
I think he's around 18 or 19. Just basically the same age Rey is, and the same age Anakin Skywalker is in Attack of the Clones, I think.
God, that really puts it in perspective. What are the difference between first time we see Rey and the first time we see him? She's a friggin' badass, well put together.
It's gonna be one of my main critiques of, but we can get to that. I think he's a Skywalker. He's like Anakin. From what we see from Anakin in the prequels, and I think especially from what we see in Attack of the Clones with his dialogue with Padme, and like, I could be doing more, but Obi-Wan won't let me, like he told me. But you get kind of that same sentiment, like
Restless.
Luke feels like something's holding him back. I mean, Yoda comments in Empire Strikes Back that he's been watching him, and you're always looking forward. You're not living like right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not living in the moment. But all of us kind of have that to one degree or another. So I think he's potentially relatable. For me, there are parts. For some reason, I don't relate to him as much as I want to. But I mean, that tendency I think is definitely a relatable tendency to look ahead as opposed to living now, wanting more.
Yeah. He's grown up his whole life on a moisture farm, which is about as exciting as watching glue dry. And basically his uncle's lied to him, never told him about his dad truly, just that he fought in the Clone Wars and he died. never mentioned anything about Obi-Wan. Kind of kept that all out. Basically made it sound like you're just going to become a farmer too.
Yeah, and I think Luke, where he's at, is epitomized by one of the most iconic scenes. Is when he's looking at the sunset, and the music comes in, and he's looking out and wanting more.
Mm-hmm. So that's basically almost the first time that you kind of sense an adventure start to come about. He's staring off, and then next thing you know, some droids run off, disappear. So then he's got to go look for them.
Well, only a droid runs
Only
off.
a droid, yeah, I guess.
Rolls off
on the sand,
really slowly.
And he's stuck with C-3PO. Got to go find him. And then basically, if you could pretty much follow this hero's journey arc, basically, he comes upon Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's just Ben Kenobi, and helps him out with the droids, and basically starts to explain who he is and who his dad kind of was. He never exactly says he was Darth Vader, but just said he fought with his dad in the Clone Wars and whatnot. So, yeah.
And then the call to adventure really comes when he finds out his aunt and uncle have been burnt
to a crisp.
Have you ever seen the picture of the Uncle Ben and or not? What's his name? Not Ben. What's his name? Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, the action figures.
Yeah, and they're just like burnt skeletons.
Really insensitive, but really funny.
It'd be hilarious if they actually made those.
But yeah, I mean that's the moment when he realizes there's nothing. I mean, realizes what I think he has felt all along. There's nothing for him on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. So basically, then they have to. He just decides to go with Obi-Wan on this adventure. He has no idea anything but this planet, but he's got nothing to go for there anymore.
You could say he's compelled by hormones because he really finds Leia attractive. So I think that's what propels him. What propels every 18-year-old boy.
Yeah, he sees a princess in a video,
she's really pretty.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll go rescue her."
It just reminds me of have you seen the bad lip reading of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Does she dance? Make her dance.
Make her dance.
Oh gosh.
That's what he's really thinking.
Mm-hmm. So then basically they go to the cantina, meet up to find a ship to go off-world, where they meet up with, good old Han Solo. See some early action about Obi-Wan means business, chops people's arms off. He's like, whew, it's a Jedi, man.
Yeah, and I know what everybody thinks of this first, 20, 30 minutes of this movie, or at least what they think of Luke and how whiny he seems.
He is whiny. He's blatantly whiny, right?
The whole time. And
not necessarily the whole time.
No, but
he has like those iconic whiny lines.
Yeah.
Right. At least that's what you depict the whole time, because the rest of it doesn't really. For me, you have to really be looking for it to look past it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, on the surface, what you're going to see is that whiny teenage boy, which we all were, but that's not what the hell I want to relate to when I'm envisioning myself on the screen. I don't want to, hey, I was a whiny little bitch 10 years ago, too. Like, that's not what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I like Luke, but one of the reasons why I don't like him a lot is because he is relatable, because he has weaknesses that I think that I also do have.
Mm-hmm.
But with a hero, you want to be able to relate to their weaknesses, but at the same time, like, you want the focus to be on their strengths, and that's what makes you as a human being want to be like them. I mean, in the first movie, and even going into the second movie, I don't really want to be like Luke.
Not even until Return of the Jedi.
And even in moments of Return of the moments in Return of the Jedi, one of the very few moments, I'm probably jumping the gun completely. Like,
I don't think we have a script.
It's all right. We're just kind of free going it.
But I think one of the moments that redeems Luke as a character for me and makes me want to be like him is probably at the end when he stops fighting and says the line like, "You failed. I'm a Jedi like my father before me." That's when to me like he becomes a hero in my eyes because he stands for something that I want to be like.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like in the other you're seeing a lot of his weaknesses being accentuated.
See,
He's whiny. He's training with Yoda and he just gives up. He leaves. Goes. He's impulsive.
pretty much a disappointment.
Yeah.
And most of the things that he's supposed to be doing or that he's doing.
Because in the original movie, right when they get to the Death Star, Luke really doesn't do a whole lot.
No.
He attempts to save the princess, but Princess Leia shoots for him.
Yeah,
does a bunch of stuff
is
for
much more
him.
Badass right off the bat than he ever was.
Because she's even
He talks to C-3PO on the transmitter and gets him to stop the garbage compactor.
Yeah,
That's true.
He
That's
communicates adequately in order to get them
enunciated well enough to
Yeah.
be
But he
understood.
blows up the Death Star.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun, because basically, right after, obviously, you see Obi-Wan sacrifice himself for Luke and Leia and Han and Chewie for the greater good, and then they get to escape the Death Star, and that's when you finally actually see Luke step up to the challenge a little bit. He
Start shooting some TIE fighters.
mans the gunners on the Millennium Falcon, shoots some TIE fighters, probably because he's like, whew, well, Obi-Wan's dead. He's the only guy I really kind of knew.
Question though, they're supposed to get away. So are those TIE fighters supposed to get blown up?
Yeah, because he did. Yeah,
Darth Vader says, because they use the
Them
Millennium
to-
Falcon to track down
to track
the base.
where the base is. So in a way,
So it's kind of
Hollow
less hero.
victory.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's a
sorry to
hollow-
throw a wrench in
it's a
there.
hollow victory, but
But that even Leia says it.
yeah,
Because Han's like, "Yeah, we did it," and then she's like, "They let us go."
yeah. So, and then finally, his biggest moment, obviously, is in the end. Dogfight going on the trench run.
Yeah, he does it.
He does it pretty much all himself.
Without the computer.
Yeah, everyone gets blown up except for him and Wedge Antilles. Han kind of saves the day, sort of, as well, though.
He
Kind of
does.
steals his thunder a little bit, but Luke still does the final shot onto the Death Star, and it blows up.
The incredible shot.
Yeah, so, and then moving on after A New Hope, he's slowly making his way to becoming a hero, trying to figure it out, and he starts off on Hoth, runs into some Wampa problems.
Hasn't really
Yes, he does.
hasn't really mastered yet quite the
No,
Force grab the lightsaber. I mean,
Yeah.
he does it, but it takes him a while.
he's had no training.
It's true.
Obi-Wan died, and he's just been talking to his ghost.
But I'm now watching this from a perspective of seeing Rey just do it.
Yeah,
She might have been trained, but still.
Which is weird because that was one of my complaints for The Force Awakens.
Is
That she's just, bam, gets it all. And, seeing Luke's just suck so hard. I mean, he wasn't trained, but I don't know. There's definitely a difference.
mm-hmm. So then basically runs in the Wampa. Han has to save his neck again. It's kind of what Han does.
Which is weird because he's supposed to be the selfish ass, but that's probably for another.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's for another
Han definitely
episode.
has the most change in character out of probably anyone. And yeah, we'll get to his dissection. His is probably the most interesting, actually.
I do think though that Luke's change is pretty significant.
Yeah, it is.
And I do think it's slightly overlooked because of Han, and
Well,
I think it has something to do with the fact that Harrison Ford is just a better actor than Mark Hamill. Maybe was able to sell it a little more, and so he steals some of the focus.
Mhm.
Well, and Han's who most of us, if we're going to choose somebody, that's who we want to be.
It's true. Although,
I mean, even we relate more to Luke, but we'd rather be Han.
It's true.
Especially with that goofy haircut.
I want to kiss my sister.
Although I mean, because Han does a lot of like selfish things, kind of. I mean, he does a lot of good things.
He does, but okay, that's Han.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Han saves his neck again. So, but then Luke kind of redeems himself by when the AT-ATs do their ground assault onto their base. It's basically, I think Luke is like went up to like Rogue 2 or something is his now title. I think he was
Something
like
that,
yeah, he's moved up pretty far into the Rebel Alliance already. So he's one of the top people kind of leading the snow speeders. And
sounded like was he even the leader of Rogue Squadron? Because during that scene, he's given most of the orders.
yeah.
Quite possibly. Unless the other leader had already crashed and burned, which is possible. If he still is Rogue or Red 2.
So I think he's Rogue 2 or something. Because in the first movie, he's Red 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember who Gold Leader is. Because I think Gold Leader is the leader of the...
I can't remember.
I don't know. It might be Wedge or something.
He definitely dies, though.
Anyway, he's more important than he was.
Yeah, so his partner in the snow speeder gets shot, so then basically that thing crashes down, so then Luke has to improvise, and he comes up with some good ways to actually take the AT-ATs down, using cables and stuff, so, and he just takes his lightsaber out and starts doing work.
Yeah. Chucks in a bomb.
Yeah.
Blows that sucker up.
Yeah, so... And then after that, then is when he finally gets to meet Yoda and start his actual Jedi training, besides just the basics.
He goes back to being he kind of has a relapse.
Yeah.
Back to being the impatient, don't really want to work.
Things are hard again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they haven't been hard. I mean, blowing up the Death Star is not easy.
Yeah.
Taking down AT-ATs,
that's not easy.
It's easier than talking to a little green man.
It's frustrated.
It's frustrated with Yoda and not very patient. And Yoda has his criticisms. And
Force Ghost talks him out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Was I so different? Right.
Yeah.
Force
Obi-Wan.
Ghost Ben. Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He was different.
What? Well, yeah, he was completely different from Luke.
I know.
I guess
when I watched that one recently, I was like, he wasn't really.
No.
Yeah. Because in episode 1, he listened directly to what Qui-Gon said, and then he always listened to what Yoda and Mace Windu said in the other movies.
Although he did defy Yoda in training Anakin.
Yeah.
Which was pretty significant.
But it wasn't being, you won't let me train him, well, I'm going to train him. Well, whiny.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to train him. It's just a matter of Qui-Gon's dying wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, even with Obi-Wan has Luke's back. Just
wants to see him train.
Wants to see him trained because he's way older. He's freaking he's a man. And
19, yeah.
and he's worse trained than like a 8-year-old.
The oldest Jedi in history, probably, to start his training.
Yeah. So, and he doesn't listen to anything Yoda says. Runs off to Bespin to save his pals. Walks into a giant trap.
Yep.
To where basically he meets Daddy. So
gets his butt kicked.
Yeah.
His arm chopped off.
Following the hero's journey, that's basically the revelation.
The abyss.
The abyss. He goes to the darkest point so far of his journey, where he pretty much finds out that his dad is the most evil possible person in the galaxy, besides the Emperor.
Second.
That would be rough.
Second, yeah. Be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets his hand chopped off. Then he starts getting weird looking. Starts making weird faces.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all true.
That's all true.
Yeah, I mean, just as we talk about Luke, I feel like there are a lot of things in his story that are relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, when he's on Tatooine, like his desire to go past this and want something bigger. When he's on Dagobah, like having a difficult time and wanting to give up, like that's something we can all relate to. But I don't know if it's just he's doing these things I can't relate to, like blowing up a Death Star. I don't know what that feels like, and his dad is super evil. I don't know what that feels like. That make it difficult to relate to him. I don't know. There's something
that's why it's weird. The only things we can really truly relate to
are his weaknesses.
Are the bad, the weaknesses.
Yeah, that is true.
And so it's a very different hero.
Mm-hmm. Than a lot of other movies at the time, especially. And,
so I mean, the arguments that he's more complex of a hero, I guess I could see that. And maybe all of these things in the first two movies do make that moment at the end of Return of the Jedi that we're about to talk about that much greater. I mean, give it that much weight.
Yeah. Because, basically from Empire Strikes Back to the start of Return of the Jedi, he acts like a completely different person.
Yeah. Yeah, and so maybe like the first two movies, there's nothing super inspiring about him as a hero.
There's nothing that would make me want to say, that's who I want to be. Even though he blew up a Death Star, he took down an AT-AT.
You still like, he blew up the Death Star, but you're still like, he just got lucky.
Yeah.
Because then he shows up in Empire Strikes Back and he can't even like freaking grab his lightsaber. You're like this. He doesn't know he doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
Yeah, fails his training. Just rushes in to fight Darth Vader. Fails horribly. he fails a lot.
He holds his own for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
catches Darth by surprise, and then he's just like, "Nope, I'm ending this."
Yeah. I do like the line where Darth Vader says, "All too easy."
And started Return of the Jedi.
Completely different person.
First moment you see Luke, he shows up at Jabba's door, and what does he do when he walks in?
He force chokes a couple.
Yep. Force chokes some Gamorrean guards. Like a boss.
Yeah. All dressed in all black.
All black. Just shows up. Because, he basically walks in there.
With a robotic arm.
Without a lightsaber, even. Because R2 has his lightsaber. So he's confident as can be that his plan's going to work.
He's finally somebody that I might actually want to be.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi Luke.
Basically shows up, says, Jabba, release my friends, otherwise I'm going to kill you. That's what he says to Jabba.
Don't underestimate my power.
Yeah. Pulls the Anakin Skywalker.
Straight up.
So what does Jabba do? Releases him down to the Rancor. What does Luke do? Kills the Rancor.
Makes that guy super upset.
You killed my pet, you douche!
How dare you kill Spot?
That part cracks me up.
I know.
I love that movie because it's so weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, George.
And
that's very George.
Yeah. And basically then they get taken out to the sail barge because Jabba's like, man, this Jedi, he's causing me problems. So then...
he slaughters people.
Yeah. Luke, basically, his plan comes into full fruition. R2 shoots his lightsaber to him, and Luke kills everybody.
Kills like 25 people at least.
Yeah.
Well, he kills 20 of them, and maybe 5 of them sends down to 1,000 years of torment in the Sarlacc pit.
You know, I don't remember which article it was. One of the ones you sent made me think of something that I didn't really think before. You know, just the fact that it's Tatooine and he would have already had all that knowledge of what the Hutts do, what they have done in the past, and the slavery and all that jazz. So
was that?
It was much more than just he has Han. It was.
So was that potentially like his
his
Anakin killing the
Anakin
sand
mom,
people
yeah,
moment, like just slaughtering.
I think it not as blatantly obvious.
Maybe not as much hate, but
Yeah, basically it goes to the place that he probably wished never had to go back to.
Crossing, yeah, getting close to that line, maybe crossing it, maybe 1 foot over.
Yeah, because you also see
he's protecting himself though throughout most of it. All these people are trying to kill him.
Yeah, because you also see in the movies. First movie, Luke wears all white. Empire Strikes Back, he wears all gray. Then Return of the Jedi, he wears all black. So basically, his hero journey goes...
Real subtle, George.
Yeah, it's real subtle. It's just like a white cowboy hat on a cowboy, basically.
Or any kung fu movie.
Yeah, basically. So his hero's journey goes very dark. And so basically after he rescues Han, he goes back to see Yoda, but Yoda dies, and he's not having that really, because
hey, I won. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I only everybody I know dies.
yeah,
He doesn't really finish his training? Question mark.
I don't really know. So
Do you ever really finish training as a Jedi?
Oh, stop it!
yeah, because it's
He never becomes a Jedi Knight ever.
because it's a matter of how much training you think he did in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Oh, he definitely did a lot.
He had to have done a lot with Yoda, probably going there frequently.
I want to know who taught him how to choke people.
Yeah.
He probably went down into that little pit in Dagobah, maybe, and learned a little bit of that.
So then, yeah, after seeing Yoda, he just shows up at the Rebel base all gung-ho to go help out his friends again. He acts like a peppy, crazy person. Just like, oh, sure, I'll be there.
I want to go to the Redwoods.
Yeah, why not?
I've never been to San Francisco. Come on.
And then when their plan starts, he figures out, oh, I probably shouldn't have gone on this trip, because then Darth Vader knows he's there.
Yep.
Kind of ruins all the plans.
Not so subtle anymore.
No, not at all.
So then he basically realizes I guess I forgot, Yoda did in a way told him he finally has a sibling. Well, so does Ben, so.
And told him he would need to kill his father.
Yeah, that as well. Because, Yoda even said that.
Mhm.
You must destroy Vader.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, so you just find out who your dad is, then everyone
And he doesn't
tells
really
you,
take that counsel either.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm gonna turn him back to the
Yeah.
light.
He doesn't want to kill him. Which is,
He takes his own path.
yeah.
Which again, like that should like make me relate to him, and
He listens to no one.
he doesn't really.
But it's rarely in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of great characters that, carve my own path. I'm not listening to anything, and you like what they're doing. You think it's the right thing, but seems like about 90% of the time Luke does it. It's like, God damn it, Luke.
Especially when you consider like his only connection to the Force is Obi-Wan and Yoda, and he never listens to them.
Yeah.
Ever. Like they
Jedi Masters.
They tell him things, and he does not. I mean, it works out for him. But
so how would it? No, I'm not even going to ask. I was going to ask how it would have gone if he actually listened to them every time. But that's...
Some people would have died.
Some people would have died.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty much every other main character probably would have died.
Probably.
Luke would still be doing his training.
To an 80s montage.
Yeah,
I am a tiger.
Because, he doesn't listen to anyone. And then you're like, oh, he's just going to give himself up to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Great plan, Luke.
Well thought out.
He's like, just me showing up. We'll have a little daddy-son time. I'm going to turn this guy back. And he kind of does. Like, it works.
Yeah,
kind of.
in a way. It gets inside his head a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
So then he finally takes him to the Emperor. And this is when stuff gets heated.
Heated lightning.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess. Yeah.
Take
Pretty
your
good.
lever. Struck me down.
Because basically Luke is spiraling kind of down almost to the dark side. He's on the verge of possibly going that way. So then when he's with the Emperor, he's so close to just either killing the Emperor, and then he would basically go to the dark side, or even killing his dad. He almost kills him. Chops off some of his limbs, and then he's just like one moment about to strike him, and then finally realize something clicks in his brain, and he's just like, nope.
He defies Yoda again, who said, "You can't go down this path."
Is that what clicked? He's like, "Wait, Yoda told me to do this.
Once you go down this path, you can never go back." And he goes down that path, but somehow goes back.
Yeah. Finally realizes that, like, oh, his dad is a really sad robotic man.
Well, he's seen his face in his dad's mask on Dagobah. Now he's like seeing the robotic hand, seeing his own robotic hand, and he's like, "Holy crap!
I'm gonna end up like this."
My other limb.
Yeah.
I don't think I want this.
Looks over at the Emperor. He looks creepy. He's like, I don't want to hang out with him.
You guys' life sucks.
It sucks. So then he just basically, finally, just lets go.
Says the greatest line in a Star Wars movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's the moment where I want to be Luke, is that when he says that line.
Right before he gets almost
Fried.
shocked to
Yeah,
death.
I don't want to be him
That's
then.
when you want to be him?
I do, because that's when he finally becomes someone that I feel like is worth wanting to be like.
Yeah. Finally follows the Jedi path.
When I think in some ways, like, he follows a path that Yoda wishes the Jedi would have followed all along. Like, this is getting kind of deep, but in the most recent Rebels episode, Yoda kind of expresses, it's not a huge spoiler, he expresses some, like, regret that the Jedi were involved in the Clone Wars. That they never should have been. That they crossed a line becoming soldiers and not peacekeepers. So I think, like, maybe this is the moment where Luke does finally, like,
redeem the Jedi.
Listen to Yoda and some of his training and choose to be a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Jedi.
And that the Jedi were kind of stuck in their ways, stuck in their traditions. They were kind of in their own world. And Luke kind of now has...
Well, they were like, we're peacekeepers, but I feel like that line was...
Yeah.
As the Clone Wars came, that line was pushed. So it's like, you're basically a soldier. Like, you're not a peacekeeper anymore. You are a soldier
but what is
fighting a war. I know, and it's very murky. But you'll have to watch the most recent. You're going to have to catch up on Rebels, because I really like what Yoda says, and like how he doesn't necessarily say it was the wrong thing, but like he acknowledges that maybe it wasn't the right thing.
He admits faults a little bit.
So it brings it kind of to your mind, like, did the Jedi go too far? And is this the moment where Luke's saying, like, I'm not going to go that far, even if I have to die? Like, if I have to cross a line in order to survive, I'm not, because I'm a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a peacekeeper.
So we'd rather,
fair enough,
die martyr, basically.
Than push any line that he doesn't feel like he's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me, like, that's a hero.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like, he hasn't really shown much heroic characteristics, but in that moment,
a couple of heroic actions at some times, but not really a heroic personality. To me is how I would describe him up until that point.
And to me, the summary of all that makes him a good character.
Mm-hmm. It
doesn't make him a great character.
If you take the trilogy as a whole, basically see his whole story progress, then you see the whole thing.
That's the thing, though. I think he has a great story, but
in a film, it's hard to go 5 hours and 45 minutes of not liking a character, and then have 15 minutes where you like him, and then overall, like, you're just overwhelmed by how great you're just gonna overall think, like, yeah, he's a good character.
But you got to see 10 seconds of him staring. And we have a couple movies, depending on when he dies.
We could possibly see some amazing... I mean, if Luke is just amazing in these next two movies, it could make me go back and watch 4, 5, and 6 in a completely different way and really, really like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's also leads to another point of why Luke is difficult for me to relate to, is because his biggest jumps in character are off screen. And I think this speaks to George Lucas in terms of not being the greatest scriptwriter. Is you never see a whole lot of on-screen growth.
Right, and that's...
So you have difficulty relating to him because his biggest maturation you don't even see, right? Between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. You don't see it.
Right.
So you have no idea how he got there.
For the heroes you really tend to connect with, those characters, it's because you are on them with that journey as they're growing. You know, it's not because you see them, they screw up or they do something great, and then they're somebody different.
And then you're like, oh yeah, here's a brand new...
By the way,
it's literally like
he's not
A
like
New Hope,
this anymore.
you get this Luke. Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back, completely different Luke. Return of the Jedi, completely different. It's like, who is this man? I can't...
Right? What
Whereas, like,
happened?
now I'm comparing him, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm comparing him to Rey, where you get a very, in one movie, you get this fluid growth. You see her grow.
Yeah.
And I think, I really hope we continue to, her growth is on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
it
I think
has
we
to
will,
be, right?
right?
If it's starting right there.
Yeah, because
And I
then
like that a lot. I think that's going to make her more relatable.
Because then this kind of leads to a different thing. Because basically, at the end of the Return of the Jedi, Luke has the pressure of starting an all-new Jedi Academy. Things went sour. So you kind of see Luke start his journey all over again, in a way, kind of now, with these new movies. But now he kind of has the help of Rey to kind of guide him, where it could be a situation where she's in a way kind of helping him as much as he's helping her.
Well, right now we really have
No idea.
we have
but-
no idea
exactly.
What
he has
what
been
state he's
doing.
in, yeah.
Yeah, we have
How
no idea.
powerful he is.
We don't know who Luke is at this point, as far as I'm concerned.
No,
At least
30
I have
years.
no idea who
Yeah.
he is.
because last we saw, he was watching his dad's body burn. Then he celebrated with some Ewoks, and then next thing you know, he's standing mysteriously on a cliffside.
That he is.
That he's been for years. And
Yeah.
years and years and years.
So
It's going to be very interesting. I think we'll learn a lot in the first, 20 minutes of the next movie.
And I mean, I have to think that these new story writers they're gonna make sure that Luke is shed in a very, very favorable light.
yeah,
But once again, we're still going to... This is going to be the largest, right? It has to be the largest growth in Luke.
Yeah,
Because this has
but he's a
been
grandpa now.
the most... This has been the most tragic, some would say, I suppose, event in his life. The murder of all of his younglings. So one would assume all of that growth over 20 years since that happened.
Yeah.
Has been pretty significant. So once again, we're still seeing the growth off screen, but then hopefully from now forward, we'll get to see it all.
And I really hope that the directors are able to help Mark Hamill bring out some very complex
I think they will.
emotions
Mhm.
and variations within Luke, so that we can, as viewers, relate to him, similar to how we relate to Rey and all the other characters in The Force Awakens, and I think we will.
Yeah.
Because I do not think that was George Lucas's strength.
No, and they made Rey grow on almost everybody immediately.
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah, it's just a matter of his journey still continuing.
we're
His
so close to its end.
Yeah, his character's still developed. I hope
Well, you
they-
could think
If
of
he
it.
dies
What if?
before Leia, I swear
just-
to God.
What if we think of it as a whole, and the Abyss revelation is not him finding out
Empire
his
Strikes
dad,
Back?
but it's when
It's
his
possible. It's
when his
possible.
Jedi Order is destroyed,
Well, this is
and
a continuous circle.
challenges and temptations.
Continuous.
Well, I guess yeah.
It's
It is
continuous, cyclical.
continuous. That might have pushed him past the threshold
Yeah.
again into the
I
unknown.
do like this known unknown. How it's like, the bottom half of this circle is the unknown, whereas when you
Even
get
though
to the
none of you have any idea what the hell we're talking about.
top, you
Yeah.
can look it up. The hero's journey.
Well, yeah, the hero's journey. It's just a nice little diagram, and it's pretty cool. Kind of basically follows exactly the character development of Luke and kind of what George Lucas was going for. He may have not had the best script writing, but George Lucas's ideas were definitely there, and some of the philosophies he injected into Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe not. It's not fair to say he's not a good scriptwriter because Lawrence Kasdan wrote the script too, and he wrote Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I think it's more that he wasn't. His strongest point was not helping actors bring out the power of the script.
Which he didn't direct Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi,
True.
But he was right there on set every day. I'm sure looking over the director's shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
My Star Wars.
My Star Wars. Yeah. So that basically concludes what we can talk about really for Luke's character for now until we find out episode 8 and onward.
Quick poll.
Yeah.
Are you going to like Luke more in episode 8 than at the end of Return of the Jedi? Just prediction.
I think so, because I think he's going to be... He's a fairly damaged old man. Kind of wise, but he's got some stuff going on. He's definitely a lot more complicated than, say, old Obi-Wan, possibly. So...
Yeah, he literally just was sitting on Tatooine for
doing nothing.
17 years, whatever it was.
I think he's gonna be more relatable. I don't think he's gonna be like as triumphant and inspirational as Return of the Jedi, because I think this is his low.
Passing it on.
He's been in some low. I think you're gonna see a very conflicted kind of Luke, like not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think he will have like that grand moment. He will have something, I think.
He's gonna,
whether in episode 8 or the next.
He will be a badass.
There's gonna be this moment where he's gonna do something with the Force that just blows our mind.
Possibly a new Force power we've never seen before.
Yeah, like she puts a force field around an entire planet and saves them from destruction. I don't know, something just crazy.
Yeah. So definitely something. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless, and that's the coolest thing. Really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they didn't give you anything to go by.
I know.
You know what he looks like.
Yeah.
About it.
I guess
he could grab Rey's lightsaber and they start battling because he's a Sith.
Oh dear.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Probably not. Who knows?
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
Anything is possible. So
you find out he has Jedi Alzheimer's and he's like doesn't even remember who he is.
What's that?
A Luke Skywalker? What's that?
I remember a Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I haven't been called Luke for a very long time.
Yeah. He goes by some weird name now. My name's Rock. Name myself after that rock over there.
My name's Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky.
My name is 10,000 Stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, who for the next character analysis, who do you guys want to talk about?
I know you're not doing Han Solo without me.
Well, I know. I'll make sure you're there.
I think I might just be biased because it's one of my favorite now, but I think it might be fitting to go Rey.
But can we really do Rey yet? I would like to do Rey again, at least after the Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah,
because I want to do it fresh.
So probably Darth Vader.
Either
you can do Vader. That's probably going to be a fairly deep one.
Yeah,
it will. Yeah,
go far in there.
He's got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So definitely, this was the Luke Skywalker character dissection. We are the Ways of the Force podcast. You can watch all of our episodes. We just recorded another awesome one, and we'll have that up soon, as well as this.
Well, it probably will already be up.
I guess. Why am I saying as well as this will be up? Of course, if you're watching it, it's up.
We're gonna save time and upload them at the same time.
Yeah, probably. I am Jake the Wookiee. You can find me at Twitter, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our channel, check out all of our videos.
Comment, say something, anything.
Heck yeah. Who do you want to see next?
One letter. Yeah, there you go.
We could dissect Jar Jar.
The only
on
person
this table with a knife.
Yeah.
The only person that comments can choose who we dissect. There you go.
There you go. All right.
Watto. I vote Watto. We dissect Watto.
That'll be deep.
Like a 5-minute conversation.
He's a douchebag.
He's a freaking slaver.
He's a sleemo.
All right. Yeah, that was it.
Yep. Well, I'm Kyle, No Daddy Issues Ren.
Logie One Kenobi.
And I'm Jake the Wookiee again. May the Force be with you all.